What is up guys, Speed here, and today I am bringing you a replay analysis, a brief one, where we are going to go over probably the simplest hero for the mid lane. Razor has become what Viper was 2 patches ago. If you guys can remember what Viper was that patch. I mean, Viper still has a lot of the same qualities, but before his 2 patches in a row of extreme nerfs, this is what Razor is now. Razor can basically mimic Viper in a lot of ways. You're one of the tankiest heroes in the game, you have one of the best talent trees in the game, and you're one of the fastest farmers in Dota. And that is why I would recommend to everyone right now to pick Razor. This is one of my coaching students who is now seeing a lot of success on this hero, as won his last 2 games on Razor, both of them ranked games. And this is going to be one of them. We're going to look at his good plays this game, his mistakes, and basically cover what he could do better and what specifically you could do better to maximize your efficiency and guarantee free wins as Razor, because this hero's formula is bonkers straightforward. So first off, even against matchups where you think Static Link isn't that good, I would still take it. Even against someone like Puck or Quap, I would still take it. Because if you can steal 7 damage and force them to go backwards, it can secure you a deny, and that's basically all you need. Right here, for instance, he could have saved himself a CS, right? At least gotten his level 2 right away. And that is what matters. Does a great job beating his branch, but in general, when you are playing the mid lane, as Razor, take your W and just link right away, try to get some early wave denies, even if it's a hero like Puck, right? It still takes Puck a second or 2 to break the link, and that's long enough to steal quite a bit of damage, so take that into consideration. So I don't want to focus too much on the laning stage, but what I do want to say is that what Cher has done very well this game is purchased salves. The only thing is he's gotten them canceled a little bit early, so what I would recommend for all of you mid lane players, when you're playing any matchup that you think is even relatively even actually, that's not even true. Any mid lane matchup, if you buy more salves than the enemy and play aggressive with your spells, you can get an advantage, period. Strictly from that. You'll notice here, he picked up a salve, he has a stick and tangos, and as a result, the Puck is now put in a very weird spot where he has a bottle. This is unbelievably common. I literally can't stress enough how often this happens, where you can simply gain a 5, 6, 7 CS advantage or deny advantage purely because you bought a healing salve. And you notice, not only that, he gets first blood, right? Because he makes a great play identifying that the Puck needs a rune to sustain his lane, and as a result, he gets a kill. So you can see right here the power of the salve. If he was stuck on 100 HP, he couldn't have rotated over there. He would have lost first blood. The Puck might have gotten the rune. It was on the other side, but the point is, right, it still stays the same. Basically, he wouldn't have been able to make that play, and as a result, now he's able to pick up a full 2 Wraith Bands, a full wand, and some extra regen to continue sustaining the lane. Now Puck is level 4, and even though I think Cher on the Razor has maybe played this lane a little bit wrong by not taking Link, and even making this dive mistake, what ends up happening? He still has a level advantage. Dota is this simple. It is this simple, guys, for the mid lane. You pick a hero that has lane aggression like Razor, you watch one replay of a pro, assess how they play the lane, assess how many salves they buy, when they use their spells, and then you're able to be conscious, make the correct plays, and out-sustain the enemy mid laner. And that will win you matchups, period. And if you're a hero like Razor, this will guarantee you MMR. Why? Because after you win the lane, you go to the jungle and you outfarm nearly everyone. That is unbelievably powerful, right? You notice here, the Puck is doing a decent job catching up, but he's having to invest a lot of gold, or at least a lot of time getting runes, right? Where the Razor is able to sustain. Now, if he made a few adjustments, either getting Link level 1, or not diving the tower when the Shaman rotated, or just playing a little bit more passive, not getting his self cancelled, a few adjustments here and there, and he'll dominate the mid matchup. And this is a matchup that isn't necessarily that favorable for Razor. There's ones that are significantly more favorable, right? So here, once again, diving a little deep, might get punished for it. Yeah. So this is a little bit unnecessary. What I recommend for everyone who's playing the mid lane, whenever getting the kill would have been alright, but the thing is, you have to take into consideration if you burn a certain amount of their resources for a certain amount of yours, right? If you win the resource trade and don't have to overcommit, then take that trade, right? I'll show you right here when he could have just backed off. After his next unstable concurrent, right here, back off, right? You're dropping the Puck, a Puck with only 1 bottle charge, down to this amount of HP, and that's a fine trade, right? He would have had 600-700 HP, a wand and tangos. He could have sustained the lane and then pressured the tower here, or just stack the camp. But instead, he's getting too aggressive. This is too aggressive, right? if you build up a lead where you can dive and secure kill after kill, right, you can do that. But often enough, if you can trade 600 HP or 500 your own HP for 800 or 900 of theirs, or maybe I should lower the numbers a bit, 300 of your HP for 500, 600 of theirs, make that trade, leave them on 100 HP, and you'll gain an XP lead that way. You do not, and I repeat, you do not have to kill someone to gain an advantage. Killing is not necessarily what gains an advantage. And now here, I think he's making a slight mistake. He's wasting a little bit too much time in the mid lane. As Razor, as a hero like Viper, as an Alchemist, as a Storm, or a Shadow Fiend, any of these heroes that have stack potential, you should push out the lane, and then right after you push out the lane, instead of looking to pressure the tower because your hero's farming efficiency, immediately head to the jungle and look to stack a camp. For instance here, if I go into free camera, he could either take this and take this camp, like rapid farm them with his ultimate. It's very good to take Eye of the Storm, by the way. You use your ult, you clear these two camps, and then you stack this one. Or you clear this camp alone, and then you stack these two, because you can double stack with the Razor using Plasma Field. And this efficiency will snowball you the game. As Razor, you do not have to look at yourself purely as a lane dominator, but now as a flash farmer. And flash farmers are naturally good in a solo queue environment. So here he's making a big mana play. Looks like it probably works out. Gonna have to tank the Omni Slash. Oh, that was close. Okay. Yeah, but once again, kind of an unnecessary play, right? Like, he could pressure the Jug there, or he could simply be making a stack and farming 2 more camps to the Jug, which would in turn get him his Greaves faster, get him his Atos faster, and basically allow him to hit a timing that helps him snowball the game. I think too many players look at the mid lane and say, I need to kill, I need to pressure, kill, pressure, kill, pressure, especially when they're a hero like this, or a hero like Ember, or a hero like Nature's Prophet, where they think they can rotate or pressure their lane, and as a result, they waste too much time and too much resources when they could have 60 or 70 CS at this point in the game, right? Maybe not 70. 70 is a little high. You could have 60 though. Around here. Actually, no, what? I take it back. You could definitely have 70 by now. If you were playing a Razor, I give you guys a challenge. Get 60 CS by the 10-minute mark. If you can't do that, check out a pro replay, check out a Razor replay, and see how they do it. Right? They might not do it every game. Maybe there's a game where they get ganked. But if they have a free lane, check out, okay, how in the world did they get that many CS when there's not even that many lane creeps? How do you get more CS than lane creeps pre the 10-minute mark? It's by efficiency based on timings. Notice when they push out the lane. Right? Focus on a few things. When they push out the lane and what times they are stacking. Like, what camps do they take first? What camps do they stack first? All these things come into play. There's a reason why in a recent Sumail guide, right, I made it a Sumail Alch guide for gameleap, he was able to get, I believe, like a 9-minute radiance. Something insane. Like, it's not because he simply clicks his buttons faster or makes the hero move faster somehow. No, it's based on timings. Of course, it's based on some mechanical skill through efficiency and last hitting. But a lot of it is based on timings and efficiency in camps, like what he takes first, what he takes second, which mid lane he pushes out. And if you can become a conscious player when it comes to this, this is how you'll have success. So here, once again, what is he doing wrong? Right? I think a lot of you guys, even he could look at this and be like, what am I doing wrong? What is going on here? You're just trying to do too much. You don't have to do this much in Dota, for instance. Drow. What is Drow doing wrong here? Like, this is an ancient game. This is an ancient game. And what is happening here that they don't need to be doing? Basically all of it. They don't have to do any of this. Like, now the problem is he has no sustain besides these items in his backpack, and he's stuck at 400 HP. When he could have just pushed out mid, taken these 3 camps, and then this one, and then let's say the fight develops over here, he walks over and cleans it up. That will gain him a 1k net worth advantage to what he has right now, right? 4,500 net worth, that's simply not high enough. So now, what we're going to do is look at another replay, another Razor replay, and compare the two, right? We'll look at the differences and notice how one player maximizes efficiency compared to this ancient player. So I appreciate you allowing me to use this replay share. I think there's a lot of good points to be made here. Overall, solid play based on your first mechanics with buying the salves, but in general, you need to make a little bit less of an effort to be killing people, as crazy as that sounds, and more of an effort on focusing on your efficiency. Alright, what is up, guys? We are back, and we're going to be looking at a Gunner Razor replay. He is one of the best Razors in North America, and I think his efficiency this game is extremely clean, right? Like, his movements make a lot of sense, and it allows him to gain an early XP advantage against this Ember Spear. Now, this is a favorable matchup for Razor, undoubtedly, but more importantly, what we want to look at here is not necessarily how he beats the Ember in lane, but how he takes advantage of the early advantage that Razor will typically build in the majority of matchups. So, in this game in particular, he doesn't even actually crush mid. You notice here that he's actually only level 5 to the basically 5 of Ember, which is certainly not crushing. He got ganked. His denies are good, especially compared to the Ember. If we look at last hits, I notice he has 12 to the Ember 1. So obviously he's winning, but not in terms of XP, which is really what's important in this lane. So how does he actually manage to create a gap between him and the Ember? So upcoming here is the first efficiency. First off, thing to note, he bought a salve, and it's very important to buy salves on Razor, even at the 5-minute mark, 4-minute mark, 6-minute mark, if you're missing HP, because you have to tank creeps in order to maximize your farming efficiency. So you see here, he clears the 5-minute wave, and after you clear the 5-minute wave, what this does is it allows you to take, especially on Radiant, this closest camp as fast as possible without actually blocking it. You notice, using his ultimate, and which is obviously his level 6 timing, he's able to clear it before the 6-minute mark. In turn, then he can use his ultimate to continue pushing out the mid wave, and not only that, the greatest part is able to use the rest of it to clean up this large camp. So just an insane amount of efficiency out of that ultimate, and that's what you have to do to get to the next level, right? You have to take advantage of every little efficiency. You can't waste time pressuring this Ember to the ends of the earth, because he's just going to go to the jungle and farm at some point anyway, or he's going to outgank you. You have to take advantage of the fact that Razor has essentially a 3-second cooldown Nether Toxin. Now, it's not as good as Nether Toxin for farming, but it's extremely efficient and costs no mana. You notice here, now we'll go back a little bit to check out the timing, but in this situation, he's pushing out the 6:30 wave, the wave that spawns at 6:30, and right after that, he's into the jungle. He knows this camp is going to spawn at 7 minutes, clears it as fast as possible, doesn't pop his ultimate because he knows that there's a stack here, right? I don't believe he stacked that earlier. I think it was his teammate, but regardless, you'll notice in addition, what is so important, he has a salve. He has a salve, guys. He bought another salve. You have to buy salves, please. This item is so good. Now, sure, he can just shrine here instead, but still, he pops the salve in between, meaning that if he gets ganked, he'll be able to fight them off, or he can simply return back to mid with no threat of dying to some Ember Remnant combo, whatever. Just in general, he's not being stingy with health regen, and even though the Ember is able to get a gank off, you notice he has 1 kill now, it doesn't matter, because now you see the Ember is level 7 to the level nearly 9 of Razor, and that is how you build advantage. You clear the 5-minute wave, you push out this camp. It doesn't have to be the 5-minute wave, but a straight minute mark. You push out that lane, you farm this nearby camp with your ultimate, you push in the lane with your ultimate, and then you farm this camp again. And that is maximum efficiency. That doesn't require you to make a big play on the enemy mid laner. Requires no outplay, simply requires a knowledge of timings. And knowledge of timings is a massive piece that mid laners are missing, right? So many mid laners, sure, they can win the last hit battle. Sure, they can get some epic solo kill as Invoker. But when it comes down to a matchup where maybe they aren't winning, or a game where their team needs them to carry, they simply can't build the advantage necessary, right? Because they don't understand timings, the farming timings, not necessarily ganking timings, but farming timings. And now you notice here, he tries to make use of his level advantage and help out his team. Not necessarily a bad play, but unfortunately he's against a lot of disengage, so he's not able to get any kills. But who cares, right? Who cares? He's level 10 to the level 7 of Ember. Who cares, right? Now you could be like, well, he is a drow, so this is unfair. Doesn't matter, okay? If you want to make that excuse, stay Herald. But the point is, hopefully you guys see this, where when you go to take camps and when you push out the lane really matters. And if you care about getting better as a mid laner, you must pay attention to things like this. You must learn it and put a heavy focus on it, because the best players will always out-farm you, even in disadvantageous matchups. So please, take the time, try to understand these concepts, and if you do, I promise you're on the pace to becoming a top 1 player. Top 1. So thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed, please do like and subscribe. And before you leave this video, I want to let you know that on the gameleap website, I made an alch guide talking a lot about timings. Alk is one of the heroes that has to rely on timings the most, because he can't kill at all. And in fact, I think that's one of the reasons why Alchemist is the best, or one of the best solo queue heroes in Dota. Because it teaches you timings, and you do not have to rely on kills to snowball a lead. And when that is the case, Dota can be very straightforward. And straightforward Dota is the best Dota for MMR. So if you were interested in that and that sounds appealing, check it out on the gameleap website. The guides aren't necessarily out yet, but I've made that, should be coming out soon. And not only that, but I've recently made a lot more in-depth content talking about advanced concepts that I won't cover in depth here on YouTube. So hopefully I'll see you over there. Click the link below and let me know that you came from YouTube in the forum.